Yesterday, Health Minister Dr. Motsoaledi declared that the Listeriosis outbreak is now over in South Africa. Motsoaledi has assured citizens that processed foods and ready-to-eat meats are safe for consumption. The country's 157 facilities that produce ready-to-eat foods have been inspected and have all tested negative. But there is still uncertainty around enterprise plants in Polokwane and Germiston east of Johannesburg. The Minister joins us now from our parliamentary studios in Cape Town. Minister, great to have you. Thank you so much for joining us on Morning Live.
Good morning, Leanne.
So is it not too soon to announce that the Listeriosis outbreak is over when we still have question marks in Polokwane and Germiston enterprise plants?
No, we don't have any question mark in Germiston enterprise plant. It is going to open like all the others and produce. Because it has been tested, the environment is clear, but you will never know until they start producing. So they are being allowed to produce, then the food will be tested. If it's okay as we expect, then it will go on. The Polokwane one is not uncertain. It's only because it has been dismantled from inside by the owners, which is Tiger Brand. And I met them last week. They say after dismantling, they have to put it back together, and they will only finish that work by the middle of October, round about that time. Then we'll send in scientists to test, and if it is clear, we'll also announce that it can start producing. So it is them who are still busy putting it up together. It's not because of any uncertainty.
Okay, so well, obviously you came out yesterday saying that it is fine for South Africans. Now, what you have announced that there hasn't been a new case in 3 months. In total, Minister, how many people lost their lives from listeriosis? Do we know this as yet?
Yes, we know. It's 200 people.
200 people. This is it's a massive number. It really is. Who's been held accountable? Do we have anybody that we've pointed the blame to and said, you guys are responsible and you guys are the ones that are going to carry the blame?
Well, I'm sure you are aware, Leanne, that the outbreak strain which caused this outbreak was found in the Polokwane enterprise plant owned by Tiger Brands. And you are aware that since that time, there's been arrangements for a class action against the company. And I met them and I advised them when there was a class action against the mines because of listeriosis and TB, they did an out-of-court settlement. And I was advising Tiger Brand that they might either do that or go out on in a court case, where there's a shootout between various groups of lawyers. So I left it to them. And coincidentally, the lawyers, the same lawyers who were involved in class action for people who got listeriosis and TB in the mines are the same lawyers who are engaged in this case, so they do have experience. Yeah.
So this is going to, as many people have said, be one of the biggest class action lawsuits that this country has ever seen. I would imagine with the death toll sitting at 200 and against such a major company like Tiger Brands, this is something that's going to be quite revolutionary for this country.
Well, I'll believe so. But I think the biggest class action so far was the silicosis one because of the huge number of people and the number of years for which the class action has been set for. Because remember, it's the gold mining company, right? And they did that from 1965. This one is something that happened over a period of 1 year. So I believe the silicosis one will still be the biggest.
Minister, you have, however, warned South Africans that they must still be vigilant with regard to listeriosis. So when you say that, what should we be looking out for so that this doesn't happen once again? And how can we assure South Africans that this isn't going to happen again? Have testing procedures been beefed up? Is there more to it? We don't want to see 200 lives being lost again. And I think we're talking about over 1,000 people infected. So let's talk about the precautions we should take and how should we be vigilant?
Yes, Leanne, what I meant is I didn't want people to get confused so that when next week somebody gets listeriosis, they believe the minister misled them. What I meant was that the outbreak is over, but listeria is not gone. The organism called Listeria monocytogenes is still there in the environment, is still there in water, is still there in the vegetation. And I was reminding people that, remember, Listeria has been diagnosed in South Africa since 1977. Since that time, we've been getting a few cases per annum, between 60 and 80 cases per annum over the past 5 years, which we regarded as something which, if you would like to call normal. The present one was an outbreak where many people get infected at the same time, and we say that one is over. A simple example I can give, Leanne, there was a cholera outbreak round about Musina in 2008. That outbreak is over, but cholera is not gone from South Africa. People must still take precautions in their hygiene. In West Africa, there was an Ebola outbreak, which at the end killed 11,000 people. That outbreak is over, but Ebola is not gone from that area. That's exactly what I was trying to say, meaning that people must still obey hygiene, they must still wash their hands, they must still wash their food, they must still cook it thoroughly. That's what I'm saying. And when they deal with cold meats, they must know that they easily get infected with listeria, and so they must still take precautions. They mustn't say, because the outbreak is over, then we can sit and relax and do anything. After all, obeying hygiene is a necessary measure when you are dealing with food, because we have got foodborne pathogen all over the world.
Yeah. Minister, I'm going to wrap up this issue and take a break, and then we're going to continue, and I want to get your take on what's happened, particularly in Soweto with the looting and expired and fake goods. But just very quickly, we've got a lot of viewers asking, they would love you to eat some polony live on air. They want to make sure that it's allowed. Have you eaten polony yet, Minister?
They say what?
They want to see you eat some polony. They want you to have a kotta for breakfast here live on Morning Live.
Yes, well, I've allowed it. I even spoke in my language, in Sepedi. I said spatlo and kotta di bulejo, meaning that it's now open. You can start eating them. So there's no problem. I can assure them.
You can assure them.
The ones that were infected, 5,800 tons of that have already been destroyed.
Yeah.
The destruction is still going on. It will end somewhere by the end of this month. So all the food that was making people sick has been removed from the shelf. Yeah. It is being destroyed. A lot of it has already been destroyed. So we have checked the 157 factories around the whole country that are producing cold, ready-to-eat product, meats, and everything is okay.
Everything's okay.
Everything is okay.
Minister, if you were here, I would cut you a juicy slice of polony and give it to you and see if you can eat it. Then I'll grab one with you after you've had it. But nonetheless, thank you for the reassurance. We're going to take a very quick break. We've got lots more to talk about after this, so do stay tuned. You heard the minister. He's not going to eat it, but he's promised you that it's fine. You can have it. So go for it. Send us a picture of your kotta. Although I have to say, from the responses that I've gotten from Twitter, it doesn't seem like many people stopped eating polony. So I don't know. Let's take a break. We'll see you after this. Stay tuned.